Test. 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 Sorry if that was too loud.
Should we just have power outage maybe? Yeah, why would anyone go down there and do that? I didn't even know there was a power button to that.
Yep, on the right side.
I see it, okay.
Beautiful chaos. Okay, the bells are gonna ring. The bells are gonna ring.
Good morning. Welcome to First Unitarian Church of Chicago, in person and at home. I am Corey Russell, and I'm a member of the First U Board of Trustees. I'm honored to welcome you to worship this morning along with our worship team, Reverend Dave, our ministerial intern, Liz Kreslin, our music leader, Dr. Adam O'Dell, and our storyteller today, Natasha Walker. First Unitarian Church has been a home for progressive religion in Chicago and beyond since 1836. The church sits on the western shore of Lake Michigan, south of the Chicago River. We honor the indigenous peoples for whom these are unceded ancestral homelands, as well as the diverse and vibrant indigenous American communities who make their home here today. We are a Unitarian Universalist congregation, a community of children, youth, and adults, a people of many beliefs and traditions, bound not by a specific list of things we believe, but the values we share and the mission to grow our souls and heal the world. Whether you just stepped into this church for the first time or for the thousandth time, you are welcome here. Whether you believe in God all of the time, some of the time, or none of the time, you are welcome here. No matter your race or who you love or how much money you do or don't have, you are welcome here. If you are a visitor, we are very excited to have you with us. Please let us know that you're here by filling out the visitor card, which should be behind the seat back in front of you. Make sure to include an email address and drop it in the offering plate so that we can make sure you get our weekly newsletter. If anyone has a joy or sorrow that you would like to have read aloud, please fill out a card, again, seat back in front of you, or ask one of the ushers in the back if you can't find one. And give it to the ushers as they collect the offering. If you have a joy or sorrow you would like the minister or pastoral care committee to know about privately, you may put the cards in the sanctuary box at the back at any time. Please join us after service. Well, actually, this is a slight change today. So we definitely do welcome you to coffee hour, but it's going to be slightly different today as we're doing a financial status update presentation. The board is presenting that, and so our coffee hour will be in Holt Chapel joined with that presentation. We're very much looking forward to seeing you all there. For other announcements, again, the kind of big one is the congregational meeting today. The board has been doing a lot of thinking about our financial status and a path forward, and we feel this is a vital juncture to share that with the congregation, to get input, and to keep moving things forward. So we're excited to do that today in Holt Chapel at 11:30 after the service. Additionally, the Faithful Defiance of Authoritarianism will be witnessing at 1 p.m. on 53rd Street at Nichols Park. Bobby, is that still happening? Yes? Okay. Snow, regardless of snow, still happening. And then the Global Studies Group meeting will be at 3 p.m. on Zoom today. And feel free to talk to Bobby if you want that Zoom link. Later this week, we have a number of usual things going on. I refer you to your bulletin, but I want to point out on Wednesday, we'll have game night with a number of fantastic games that Liz Gresslin has put together. We'll also have food. I think it'll be pizza. At the same time, 5 questions with Reverend Dave will also be happening. So you can either play games or have a serious discussion about life and death, whatever sounds more enjoyable to you. And then our final announcement is a fun party happening Saturday, which I'll turn over to Liz to mention.
I get to tell you all about something I'm really excited about. On Saturday, thanks in large part to Lillian and Samantha as our hosts, we are hosting a wassail party for a tradition that's been going on in Hyde Park in the Divinity School and in the neighborhood for 10 years, started by my friend of the Hyde Park Wassail. Now, wassailing is an English folk tradition of caroling and visiting and bringing good cheer to neighbors. It kind of sits at the intersection of the solstice and Christmas. It's sort of like those syncretic exchanges of Christianity and like pagan traditions that were going on in England, and wassailing is kind of like lives there basically, and so it has a rich musical tradition and folk tradition around it, and a bunch of people. This has become a beloved tradition of a bunch of local musicians and Divinity School folks and neighborhood folks, and this year we get to be a site. So come Saturday afternoon at 4:30, and at some point we will receive a very, very special musical visit. And it's participatory, but you also don't have to sing. You can just come enjoy. There will be words and everything. You don't have to know anything about anything to come enjoy it. So please do check it out. It really will be a good time.
Thanks, Liz. One more quick thing about our congregational meeting after the service is that, again, the normal fellowship hour and coffee and everything will be up here in Holt Chapel for the adults, and food will be served in the course of the meeting. And then separately, there will be drinks and snacks in Aki's place for the kids. With that, it is a good day to be together. Please join me in reading our covenant as we light our chalice. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
It may happen that the thoughtless ordinariness of daily life is jolted and gives way to a more elemental specificity. Suddenly, something occurs that claims us with an overwhelming intensity and floods our sensibility without any accompanying thoughts of human meaning. Rather, the sense of rupture is all, and it seems as if primordial energies have burst from the depths and ripped the veil normally stretched over things, concealing them in blandness. Strangely enough, I share these words that are favorites of mine in our call to worship, not only because of the worthiness of the words, but the worthiness of the book which holds these words, which I hold in my hand. My call to worship today is about books, strangely enough, and I speak to you as people of the book, bookish people, those who swim, sometimes literally in a sea of books. I don't know how many of us have apartment walls that are packed thick with a lifetime of volumes. I'm at a stage of life where it started to dawn on me that I better start decreasing the number of books in my life on those shelves as our homes got smaller rather than increasing them. But I tell you, that is a wicked hard project. So I've found a solution to it. One, I don't take a book in my hand and take it home unless I feel moved by it, something special in it, worthy of taking home. Number two, I've learned how wonderful it is when you have one of those books that's special. And this is a book from Michael Fishbane, who is a Jewish theologian and scholar who was my teacher across the street. And he wrote a really pretty radical text called Sacred Attunement. Really radical and very accessible and mystical way to look at the world. I think it's special. Well, what I've learned is when I have a book and I think it's special like that, instead of clinging to it on my shelf there, I give it to somebody. Because if I think it's special, it might have a life in someone else's heart. So, today I'm introducing this idea for the gift-giving season. I have an assignment for you right from the get-go, my people of the book. Go back to your studies and look and think, what of these books has changed my life, made things better, made me stronger, brought light when I needed it? Take it down and prepare to give it away. I ask you to bring it back to church next Sunday, or it should probably be next Sunday. It could be the Sunday after. And what I'm going to ask is for you to write in the front of it, I love this book because. I love this book because. And I'd write, I love this book because Michael, Professor Fishbane, taught me. And he's a man of good heart, and he opened my eyes to a way of seeing the world. And then I'm going to sign it, and I'm going to say, Reverend Dave, dhmessner@gmail.com. And I'm going to bring it in. There's going to be next Sunday a wrapping table. So you're going to take your gift book with your inscription about why this book has your heart, and you're going to wrap it up. And then the Sunday after, on the 21st, we're going to have a gift exchange. And I encourage you to take that book, which you won't know what it is. It's wrapped. It's not about selecting. It's about receiving a gift of someone's heart. And then you go read it, and at New Year's, if you feel so moved, drop that person an email. Say a word about it, and maybe you'll make a new friend. Maybe you'll make a new friend. You'll have one less book on your shelf and one more friend in your life. That, my friends, is something about why we come to church, right? To share what we ourselves have received in the world, that others may be lifted up, and to gather up more love than we ever knew. Come, let us now worship together.
Good morning. Our opening hymn today is number 123, Spirit of Life, in your gray hymnal. That's 123 in the gray hymnal. Please rise in body or spirit. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
For Time for All Ages today, you may know my background. I was raised on the Navajo Reservation from middle school and high school, and I was going to talk about a ceremony that I don't know that many people know about. Can you stop? Sit down, please. So any of the youth that wants to come forward and the young at heart, whoever's interested, feel free. Does that work? Thank you. Yes, okay. So today we're going to talk about the first laugh ceremony. And I'm going to talk, I should have warned you about my really bad Navajo accent. The first laugh celebration, which is Latswe Awe Chi'idil Dro, is a Navajo or Dene tradition that is a child's first formal welcome into a family and their clans. The celebration expresses the parents' hope that their child will always be friendly, kind, and caring. Laughter is celebrated as an important, healthy, and healing aspect of the human spirit. Everyone in the family tries to be the first to make the baby laugh. The person who succeeds begins a special relationship with the child and has the honor of hosting the first laugh ceremony. During the ceremony, the baby holds, with some help, a woven Navajo basket filled with special salt crystals. Guests are given a pinch of salt to renew their good character. Giving away precious salt is the child's first act of sharing. As the baby grows, the family wishes that the child will have a happy life, many smiles, quick generosity, and a kind heart, and will gladly give to anyone in need. So this book is called First Laugh, Welcome Baby by Rose Ann Tahi, who is of the Dene Nation, and Nancy Beauflood. Baby, we wait, watching, tickling, smiling. When will we hear your very first laugh? Baby, you nap in your crib. Grandmother, your Nima Sani, tucks you under a Pendleton blanket in your skyscraper home in the big, busy city. All week long, Papa, your Nije, works welding buildings of steel while Mama is teaching children at school. Soon you wiggle and squirm. Eyes open, awake, you start to smile, but then such a frown, you are hungry. Smells from the kitchen tickle your nose. Big sister, you're naughty, sprinkles salt cedar ash into bubbling blue cornmeal mush. Eat, little baby, fill up your tummy. Then will you laugh? Navajo baby, Dene Awe, you often visit your grandparents on the Navajo Nation. From your cradle board in the shade of a pinon, you watch while your Nima, your mama, weaves bluebirds and thrushes into her tree of life rug. Ribbons of buckskin hold you snug so your legs grow strong and your back straight. Caw, caw. Look, little baby, how raven teases, swoops low, then soars high. Your mouth opens wide, it stretches. A smile? Oh no, it's a sleepy pink yawn. You ride on a horse across the red mesa, snuggled up front in grandmother's arms. She shows you her sheep while tickling your chin. You grin. Uh-oh, dogs bark, coyotes yip and yowl. Little fingers curl around grandmother's hand. Your lips turn down. what a scowl. Grandmother kisses your cheeks in tears. She points to the windmill, bringing up water for cows and their calves. You reach toward the silver blades spinning. Whoosh, grandfather, your chie splashes water sparkling with sunshine. You squeal, legs kicking. Laugh, little one, but not even a smile. Oh, baby, we wait, we wonder, when will you laugh? Tonight after napping, you wake, stretch, and look. Not tired, not hungry, not scared. Big brother, your Nana'i, makes silly faces. Sister plays her Navajo flute. Papa tickles your tummy and toes. Mama sings with the sunset. Your eyes open wide, tiny lips quiver and turn into a smile. You look all around. Grandfather holds you a pie. Grandmother whispers a corn pollen prayer. Oh, baby, your arms wave. Your smile grows big, still bigger. Like babies everywhere, long ago and today, you laugh. Grandparents nod, sisters giggle, brother jumps, mama and papa clap, and everyone cheers. Oh, baby, yes. We welcome you, Navajo baby, into your family and into your clans. So I encourage everybody with this story to examine and ask around and figure out who is it that made you laugh for the very first time, because you may have a spiritual connection with that person. And with that, I will let the children go to their classes, and I encourage you to warmly greet your neighbor.
At this time, I'd like to invite Margaret Hike forward. It seems like I'm just cold calling on people from the congregation now, so be aware you may be. Margaret's going to be singing a piece I've chosen from the... No. She could, actually. She could. But on this occasion, we're beginning our offering on the first Sunday of the month. And as you know, we choose together an organization working in the community with whom we share our Sunday plates for the month. Margaret is a longtime leader of this congregation, but she also has a leadership life outside these walls. This month, we're sharing the plate with an organization that she has brought life and energy to for years, and so I've asked her to share just a few words about the important work they do for us.
Yeah. We're talking about the Chicago Hyde Park Village. It's an organization devoted to helping older folks like us. There's a lot of older folks in our congregation and many more in the wider community. And we try to help each other, neighbors helping neighbors. And we do that by getting together socially, because social isolation is really a challenge for some older people. And we also do it by providing particular kinds of assistance for those who need it. I'm a driver, so I drive people who ask for it to their medical appointments, to go do some shopping, to go do other errands. And we have a physician, if you can have somebody go with you to the doctor and be the other set of ears and take notes, so you can have a companion service like that. We have a special village visitors program for isolated elders. Somebody could come and visit you every week. I'm a village visitor, and I go visit somebody every week, and we make a kind of a pledge to do that for a year. And we also have educational programs that you kind of learn about your health and about a lot of other things. And we have luncheons that get together once a month, and then we have online Zoom programs also once a month. So it's a way of helping each other grow older, and that not only helps the elders themselves, but it helps the families, because we really needed a village to help everybody, every generation, make the best of their life and their opportunities. So I was delighted to know that the village would again be the recipient of your support. Our membership dues, we do have membership dues. We have two levels of members. One is associate, one is full membership, and we have a scholarship kind of program for people with low income. But those membership dues only cover 20% of our expenses, so we got to raise the rest. And as chair of fundraising committee, that is a challenge, as you all know anyway, from the other organizations. So I will definitely thank you for your support for this good organization. I'll be happy to tell you more about it and sign you up after this. Okay. Thank you.
Today's offering will now be gratefully received.
Please rise in body or spirit for our centering song. I will sing it once through. Choir, you're sort of familiar with this one, and we'll sing it through a few times to kind of give you a chance to get used to it. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. Thank you. You may be seated.
Each week we engage in the healing practice of sharing our joys and sorrows together as a community. I have a joy from Natasha Walker. Holden turned 7 on Wednesday. Happy birthday, Holden. From someone who's anonymous. This week, I received the 30-day sobriety token from my anonymous group. I hope to share the recovery with anyone who needs it. Congratulations. And from Margaret Hike, a joy that Ivan Lepin is here with us today, and a sorrow that he won't be driving here in the future, and a gratitude for his contributions to our community. And I'd also like to lift up a joy that we'll be welcoming 3 new members to the church. And with that, I will turn it over to Reverend Dave.
This is a season of welcoming joiners, and in these coming Sundays, we'll have a number of new joiners. So today, I would like to announce 3. Look for a party in January for all of the joiners of this quarter. But today, let us celebrate and welcome into our covenant of membership, Janet Freon. Janet, would you stand up? Let us welcome into our covenant of membership, Camille Isabel. Camille. And let us welcome Alexis Chima. Alexis, welcome to this house. Thank you all. You are all already invested in the ministries of this place, some for years. We are grateful for your presence, your heart, your imagination, and for who we are because of you. Let's keep going. Amen. Now, another joy. We have a few things today. This is a part of our Legacy Spotlight series, and so I'm going to turn it over to Laura Stern, who's on our Board of Trustees, and she will invite forward, I think, Margaret Hike to be with her again.
Yes, we're working out Margaret Hike today. Margaret, would you like to join us? And Margaret is going to be talking about one of our members who passed on many years ago, but has left a significant legacy, and that's part of what we want to honor, is not just the ones that we have recently received, but also making sure that we all keep in mind the members who left us a significant legacy to remember them by and to continue our hard work. So here's Margaret to talk about Ken Shug.
As you know by now, I am Margaret Hike. I've been a member of this congregation since 1969, and I want to recall the ways in which one of our late members, Ken Shug, made his impact on our church community. Ken and Mio married in the Beverly Unitarian Church, but had little to do with any church after that. They lived in Hyde Park, raised 2 boys, were active in various ways in the community. Mio was a professional volunteer. She worked with the PTA, traveling over the city for social justice and to improve the educational system. Ken taught chemistry at Illinois Institute of Technology. He spent a lot of time, his energy, working with and raising funds for CHAMP. CHAMP is a program, an organization that's devoted to helping minority students enter and succeed in medical careers. He taught hundreds of aspiring students basic chemistry during the summers, and that was a real passion of his. It was a very successful program, as attested to by the many people who went through that program and spoke at his memorial service here. Mio died in 2000 after several years of debilitating illnesses. Ken was bereft. Now, I became acquainted with them both when I joined the faculty at IIT in 1969. I recognized Ken's grief and his need for other engagements. I suggested our church. Why not? He also was a founder of the village, so we worked together on founding the village as well. But I really thought he would benefit from being part of this church congregation, and that we would benefit from having him. He came, he sat in the back, he saw many of his comrades from previous associations and thought that this was going to be okay. So he joined us about 2002. And he came in with the question, well, what needs doing? What can I do here? He came to every event. He volunteered to set up, clean up. He talked to everyone. He danced with everybody. He offered fun events at the talent auctions. He joined the board. He actually became president of the board. And as he became familiar with the finances, which you do if you're on the board, we together ran several annual pledge campaigns, and he increased his annual giving substantially. So did I. He served on the search committee that identified David and Terry Schwartz as our co-ministers. He often said that this was the best thing he'd ever done. By the fall of 2012, Ken was feeling unwell, unable to attend court theater with Madeira, unable to make me lunch while we chatted about church and IIT business. He was finally diagnosed with advanced pancreatic cancer, given a short time to live. It turned out that he did not have a will, since he expected to live to be 100. I recommended a lawyer, but also asked him to think about how he wanted to use his estate. And in fact, his estate had grown to about $3 million by then. He lived frugally. He did not live like a wealthy man. That's probably why he was so wealthy. And he did not much monitor his assets. And he thought about it, and he dictated a list of bequests to me, but told me not to tell anyone because he might change his mind. He died before he changed his mind. And Ken left our congregation a major bequest of $500,000. He did not specify what it would be used for, because he implicitly trusted the congregational leaders to use it wisely. The leaders in charge discussed this and determined that part of it should be used for immediate needs. There are almost always immediate needs. But that the rest should be invested to support a paid internship for a ministerial intern in accordance with the UUA guidelines in place at that time. And this has created the SHUG Ministerial Internship Fund, which is a special designated, it's not combined with the rest of the endowment. The income is intended to provide partial support for an intern, thus supporting both our congregation and the denomination at large. So Ken has left us a really substantive legacy, both with his weekly attentions and involvement in our church, and his ultimate financial bequest. We miss him and honor him.
Comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul.
If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to pray on, pray on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to pray on.
If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to pray on, pray on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to pray on.
If we want hope to survive in this world today,
We've got to walk on, walk on. 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 We've got to work on, work 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 on, work on. If we want peace in the world, we've got to move on, move on, move on.
When God said, "My hands are yours," I saw that I could heal any creature in this world. I saw that the divine beauty in each heart is the root of all time and space. These are the opening lines of an ancient poem written by Rabia of Basra. She was a woman of the 8th century. She was sold into slavery. She was forced to work in a brothel for her life. Much more importantly, though, in her biography, she was a Sufi mystic and a human of great heart, and went on to become an Islamic saint. Her words are the report of a theophany ringing with hope, the power to heal any creature in the world, an awakening to the power resident within herself, gifted to us across an incredible distance, that we might awaken to some similar power right within ourselves as well. I encourage you to consider, just to consider, taking this revelation as your own. Consider that your hands are the hands of a merciful and powerful divinity, vested by infinite potency, residing deep down in the boundless spaces of your heart. It makes a difference, I think, how we understand the spaces of our hearts and how their boundlessness enables us to see our part in the greater unifying story. This boundlessness, our vision, are sources of our power. I'm preaching today about untapped power. Now's the time to reach into those reserves. These stories are stories about kinds of powers we have resident to us that we may not have noticed, that may not have yet been disclosed to us, or we may not sufficiently trust. Now, I'm not suggesting that each individual story, the stories of our lives we walk in here with, the stories of the texts that we grew up with, the stories that you just discovered maybe 5 minutes ago, if this was not a familiar story to you. I'm not suggesting they all have the same plot, the same character, the same setting, any of those mundane, superficial features, or that these stories from all over the world, or for that matter, let's go small, all over this sanctuary. I'm not suggesting that the stories all over this sanctuary need to somehow be assimilated into one singular narrative, one tasteless gruel that harmonizes and annihilates. But I am suggesting, particularly in this house, in our tradition, that all of these stories are connected in deep ways and can be understood as part of a larger conversation. And when we juxtapose these stories, when we put them in conversation with each other, sometimes they toss off sparks. Sometimes when you share your story with me and me with you, we learn something of similarity and difference, and we are brought to life by them. And I walk away knowing something about your story, your journey, that changes how I live into the rest of my life. That's the magic that happens here. That's why we gather together so often in circles and small groups and say, tell me a time when. So often we say, tell me how you found this church. Tell me the time when you first sang. Tell me why you have a passion for helping elders in the community. And people share a little bit of their story, and we might just have an aha about our own lives. We change each other, and that's good news. Because when we show up with open hearts and receptive minds, and we become the listening people, we grow larger. We move from small self to large self. We sometimes move from places of fear and anxiety to places of hope and possibility. These are the conversions I'm interested in church. I'm interested in the conversio in the Latin, the turning from to, the turning, as I say, from fear to hope, the turning from hate to compassion, the turning from division to unity. turning from despair to what's the opposite of despair? Light, laughter, curiosity, anticipation. These are all unusual words, opposites, but that's how I play my antonym game. Despair has 1,000 antonyms, and that's what this religious life is about. That's why we come into this place and we tell each other stories. That's why we come into this place and we bring unexpected texts. For when we choose to bring a text into our common worship life, we are modeling the way that we are able to connect seemingly disparate pieces and see them as parts of a whole. This story, Rabia of Basra, is her story my story? Not hardly. And yet, do I receive something in her story, and is it woven in part of me now, and something of her courage, her genius, the epiphany she experienced, does it become part of my own awakening? Maybe it does. And that amazes me. So remember, you have the power to heal any creature in this world. Let me go supernatural today. Let me go Why build a pulpit 15 feet in the air if I don't get to go supernatural once in a while? Yes, you have the power to heal any creature in this world, and that includes yourself. And that might not be a bad place to start. Is there anyone who needs some healing today? Today, I am talking all about you. And yes, obliquely, in talking about you and your healing, I am absolutely talking about the healing of the world that the world needs today. Physician, heal thyself. Whatsoever we have heard done in Capernaum, also do here in this country. That's a different ancient text. I got out my ancient papyrus scroll to check the distance, 750 miles of desert between Nazareth and Basra, but they fit together somehow, strangely, miraculously, as parts of the same great ancient and continuing story. Heal thyself. It could mean a lot of things. It could mean to take care of your people close at home, to give priority to the needs that are closer by, but more than that, could be saying you do all these things for everyone else. You ought to have the generosity and the wisdom to do the same for yourself. How many caregivers do we have sitting in our pews today? How many of you pour yourself out to tend to those you love, to ensure they're safe and healthy and fed and warm, and the list goes on and on? How many of you reserve that same limitless generosity for yourself, even on special days? Today is a special day. What enormous generosity and compassion might you have for yourself today? What extraordinary recognition of your worthiness could you make space for today? Heal thyself. It could also mean heal yourself because ain't no one here going to do it for you. Not because of unkindness, but I truly believe it, that no one here will ever be able to do fully what needs to be done. That's our power. That's our responsibility to tend to our own wounds, to tend to our own hunger, and to do it with intensity because we matter. We matter as part of this family. So do it for yourself, because in doing it for yourself, you're doing it for all of us. And I'm telling you this, there is a necessity, because in the end, we need our greatest healers to be well for the work that you have in front of you. The power to heal any creature in the world. There are creatures waiting for us to show up and to offer what we have, the balm we have to offer for a hurting world. And I feel in these days, our world is hurting. And so today, I want you to begin this season, strangely enough, in a selfish place. For before you can go gift shopping for everyone else, I want you to keep a secret list. It can be secret because it's for you, of the gifts you yourself need to receive right now and have the power to give yourself. So the question of the day, which I am not going to answer for you, it really is this: what healing do you need? What gifts of self-care might you give yourself this season? What is the gift you need to give yourself before you can do one thing more for anyone else? Tend to your own heart. Now is the day, because of the urgency of the world. Now is the time to look inside yourself, to look in the mirror, to feel your body. What is the ailment that requires medical attention? I often feel these old-timey ailments. On some days I feel that general malaise. They used to say, uh-oh, he has a malaise about him. I feel that because the world doesn't seem to be getting better, only more violent and disregarding of the living things, the precious things, the things I love the most. And on those days, I feel a malaise. Some days I feel something like a marasmus. If you know that old time, if you were a 19th century doctor, you know about a marasmus, a wasting away of the dreams that were once enlivening to my imagination. Once enlivening to my work every day, because I had desires and hopes and things that were going to come true. And on some days, I've lost the grasp of those hopes coming to reality, and they've gone farther away, and those days are listless. Some days I feel, what is it called? A flux of the humors, a failure of circulation, a being of disconnectedness. What is that? Of family and friends, institutions with whom I once shared much. The experience of disconnection is an essential malady against which we fight the brave fight in church. Let you not become disconnected from the family of which you are a part. Inattention is the heart of human sin. Make no mistake, it's not what's written in Christian doctrine. It's a failing to pay attention to what's most important to us. It's a failing on those days through fatigue or obfuscation or nefarious actors coming out that we become distracted from what's absolutely important to us in life-giving. Now's the season. Recenter in that which is absolutely life-giving. And in order to do that, pay attention to what is holding you back, pay attention to what is dragging you down, pay attention to the weight that you carry, and then give yourself an early Christmas present. Give yourself forgiveness if that's what you need. Give yourself forgiveness for choices that were, as I like to say, suboptimal. I have made a few choices in my life that were suboptimal. That's business speak that makes you feel better about every catastrophe you've ever experienced. Give yourself maybe the present of mercy for relationships that you haven't serviced in the way you might. Relationships maybe that you have damaged. We all have some of those. Give yourself the present of releasing disappointments for things that didn't turn out as you thought they were gonna. 93% of things don't turn out like you think they're gonna. The other 7% are things that don't matter. That's what I'm telling you. Life is structured for disappointment if we let it be. So on this day, release the disappointment. All of this as prelude for that final gift, which is a stripping away of every self-imposed limitation about what you're going to do next, who you're going to become next, how you're going to inhabit the world, how you're going to listen to your call and respond to it, the freedom you're going to seize, because we know it's your birthright. And the hour is late, but there is daylight aplenty. And so on this December 7th, I want you to unwrap presents. You don't need to tell anyone else if you don't want to. But you unwrap the forgiveness and mercy and grace that only you can grant yourself. And with that gift, go into this season feeling powerful. You have the power to heal, to mend, and to nurture any creature in this world. How will you use this power? Let's find out. May it be so, and amen.
Our sending hymn for today is 1018 in the Teal Hymnal. Come and go with me. That's 1018 in the Teal Hymnal. Please rise in body or spirit. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land where I'm bound. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land where I'm bound.
I invite you to reach out and take a hand to someone next to you for a closing word together. As you go from this place, my friends, may you be blessed. May you be blessed with a powerful imagination of the world that is just a few feet away. May you be blessed with the knowledge in your backbone of your freedom and your strength. May you be blessed by friends surrounding you who make you laugh, with whom you want to break bread, and with whom you imagine a future together of celebration and joy. Go in peace. Amen.